In this video, I'll show you how to have more control over the design of your Sway file by using grouping. So for example, in this book report Sway that I'm creating, I have my title slide. I also have a text card, and then I've added several images. And all of these images all have the same emphasis. They all have, if you take a look here, subtle emphasis. Now when I go to look at what this will display as in my design, you'll notice that it's a little crazy. All these images just kind of are doing their own thing. They kind of made up how they are going to display. If you are not satisfied with that design, you have a couple different options. First of all, when you're dealing with an image card, you can decide what the focus point is. So I'll use this focus point button, and I can just say what is the part of the image I definitely want to see. If it gets resized or cropped, what is the important part? Would it be the middle, the top? To change how your image displays. Another option would be to set your emphasis. So perhaps I want to give this an extreme emphasis. When I go back to my design, it gets a lot more kind of real estate there in my presentation. But also, when you have several items that you want to control their layout, you can deal with grouping. So I'm going to take a look here. All these images, I have an option down in the bottom right to select them, and I can also select more than one. So I'm going to go to each one of these, turn their selection on, and you'll notice they're all outlined in green. And the very bottom one, I have this option that says all 5 are selected, and I have an option to group them. When I use the grouping option, then I get to pick how they share space. Do I want them to be a grid? Do I want them to be stacked on top of each other, more of a slideshow? So there are these different options. I think the stack is actually really neat. I will show you that one. When I click on stack, now all these images will be on top of each other like photos. When I'm in my design view and I come to the photo slide, I can click each one to shuffle through. So that's a nice way that you can lay out your images, or any cards that you have. You can still ungroup them, but you also have the option to change your group and select a different one from the sidebar. That is an option where I had inserted all of my cards and then decided to group them. You don't have to insert them first and then group them. You could also just say the next thing that I'm adding will be a group. Once I select the fact that it will be a group, then I can go in there and add content to that group.